All right, good afternoon to all our parents and Saints baseball fans. This is our first installment of In the Dugout for the 2018 season. Obviously with the rain today, we're not in the dugout, but in the field house with the varsity baseball team. For our parents who are new to this, this is what we do every week to kind of keep you up to date on Saints baseball and kind of review the week and look at the week ahead. So we're excited for all the folks who came out to the game on Saturday. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I think it was a good day for the Saints. 2-0, of course, facing a good Greenbrier team. Greenbrier coming into the season was ranked number 3 in the Norfolk, Chesapeake area, which is pretty good baseball down there. So I think that's a team that's going to win a lot of games over the course of the season. I thought we had a really good game against them. And then obviously an even better game in some ways against Hargrave in terms of score in the second game. Obviously not as strong a team, but I think we did what we needed to do in that game. Our JVs also won a game on Friday against Freeman, 6-0. We're going to hear a little bit about them in a second, but let's start with kind of our performance on Saturday. I think there are a lot of positives that we can go on throughout the day. I thought, for instance, that we talk about walks and how bad they are when we're pitching and how good they are when we're hitting. We led off the game with Nick getting walked and scores, and that's important. Team's going to give us walks to actually follow through and score. I think we had 3 walks in that inning. Only getting 1 run is probably a little bit of a negative or a disappointment, but we did come out of there with something on the sacrifice fly. We probably need one big hit in there. Get a couple runs early would have been really nice, but nonetheless we did score and start off the game. In the second inning we had 2 walks to start off the second from our 8-9 hitters. That's awesome. If our bottom of the order, no matter who's there, is getting on base like that, especially with a couple of walks, and we could drive them in. Nick had a big hit there. All of a sudden, what was the score there, guys? How many runs we got? Nick is in 3. And what have we talked about managing a game toward?
About 3.
Yeah, as an offense, we want to put 3 or more runs on the board. Historically, our stats say that we're going to win the game. So right there in the second inning, we got 3 runs, and we're managing the game that way. It's really good. Later on, they had a couple errors in the 4th inning. Thomas put a ball in play, which was great, and I think they had one on Nick, and both scored on Hunter's hit. And then Patrick had a hit in the 6th, I think, that drove in a couple runs. One of the things I wanted to point out was I thought our big guys, our big guns, 1 through 4, 1 through 5 came through, and that's huge. All had big hits through that game, and that was really great to see in the first game. We also only had 1 error. I think we just a throw. We allowed a guy to move up a base, and that was really good to see, since we haven't had a lot of time out there defensively. Also had a good, Donovan made a really good play on the throw from Will to pick us up and get us out of an inning. That was great stuff. On the not so great side, I'd say there's very few. We talked about not scoring enough runs when they give up 3 walks in an inning. The bottom half of our order had 7 Ks. That's too many. Okay, I think first game we can give a little leeway there, but the bottom half, 7 Ks. We saw what good things happened when Thomas put the ball in play. Taps it out there to short or second. I don't remember. I think it was short, wasn't it?
Second.
It was a second. Okay, second base, and they don't make the play. All of a sudden, he scores a run. That's big, and extended the game out, extended the lead out, and made it a much easier game to win. So our bottom of the order. Let's make sure with 2 strikes. I know Coach was instructing a number of guys to get up on the plate, get closer to the plate. You guys were not doing it. As much as we need to. So get up on the plate a little bit with 2 strikes. If you got to get up on the bat a little bit, do that. but let's put the ball in play. Don't just strike out. I'm not going to say a whole lot about the second game other than, I thought there was, Vaz did a great job. He had 2 innings. Charlie was in elect for our parents, where I think he had a 9-pitch, 3 strikeout inning and a 10-pitch, 3 strikeout inning. If that's what you're facing, do it. Don't waste pitches. Don't mess around. Go out and get people out. That was really great to see in his first outing of the year, his first varsity outing. It was awesome. From a hitting perspective, we only played 6 innings, didn't even complete the 6 innings, so there were 17 outs. 12 of our outs were in the air. Okay, that's too many. And I know maybe the guy wasn't throwing as hard as we're used to, and everybody starts dropping their hands and trying to lift the ball, trying to do too much. You have to fight that. Anybody, anywhere can catch fly balls. That's the easiest play in baseball. So whenever we're facing somebody who doesn't throw as hard, let's make sure we're making that mental adjustment and keeping from making a physical mistake about getting under balls and lifting. It didn't hurt us in that game, but we'll see some folks who won't throw as hard, and the bats aren't there that day. We really have to make that adjustment to make sure that we're hitting the ball hard. So overall, I thought it was a really good start to the season, a really good weekend, and guys should feel good about that going into this week. For a quick report on down the farm, Coach John Waite for our parents, who has a little report on how the JVs did on Friday.
So the JV team did open their season on Friday. They hosted Freeman's JV here on Friday afternoon, and Rollins Thompson pitched 5 scoreless innings in that win. And Harrison Coble and Curtis Hale both came in and pitched a scoreless inning each in relief to close out the win. They had some timely hitting from sophomores Ben Jones and Greg Broadus, and freshmen Harrison Coble and Jackson Ella both helped extend the lead. It was a 1-0 game for a while, and then they scored 5 runs late to really put the game away. So all of those guys did a great job contributing, and it was a really good way for the JV guys to get their season started.
Looking ahead to this week, obviously we've gotten rained out today at Christ Church. We're looking into trying to find a date to make that game up in the next couple of weeks or at the very end of the years when it seems there are some opportunities to do that. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know if we do that. We play Altoona on Friday, who is always a good squad from Altoona, PA. They always come in and they're well coached, and it's a nice matchup. Hopefully with the weather we can get that in on Friday, and then we're supposed to go up to John Paul the Great on Saturday. Obviously weather's a big complicating factor in this whole week, and like I said in previous practices when we've been inside, we have to take advantage of our time inside and get something out of that so we're ready to go. So that's the coming week. Our last piece for today is our weekly Player of the Week. I thought we had lots of options for this week. Good performances up and down the lineup on the mound. Nick Biddison was 4 for 6 with a couple doubles, a couple RBIs, 4 runs scored, on base 75% of the time in the 2 games with a hit batter and a walk as well. Murph was 2 for 5 with 4 RBIs, some really good swings in there. It was really great to see Murph really getting through the ball, hitting shots to the right side of the field, although his 1 RBI came on a fly ball to left field. But that was a good job scoring that run. That was important. And then finally, I would say our Player of the Week, though, went 2 for 4 with a double, an RBI, and a couple walks. But more importantly, I think had a huge moment when he came in the Greenbrier game. We sent Madison back out for the 5th inning because we felt like he had a few more pitches to go and see what happened. It was the top of the order. It would have been a logical time to take him out, 3rd time through the order. But we decided to give him, a little more, see what happens. And they got a couple guys on pretty quickly, and Patrick Ritzis came in, winds up striking out the first 2 guys, and then gets the 3rd guy to tap back to him. In that situation, we're up 5-2. We're probably okay putting him in that situation. If he gives up let's say he gives up a ground ball and they score a run and we get a force out or we get a double play, we're good with that. obviously, we're great with, he goes out and keeps them to no runs, which now, you know, they think they're coming back, it's 5-2, they put a couple on the board, it's 5-4, it's a very different game at the end. Instead, we then come in, score 2 more, 7-2, game's over. So Patrick winds up pitching 3 innings for the save, you know, comes in with first and third, nobody out, gets out of that inning, and just did a great job to turn that game around. So this week's Player of the Week, Patrick Roots. All right, great job today, great job this week. Thank you all, parents, for coming out for the meeting and for getting the Saints off to a great start. Hope to see you this week. Hope we're playing some baseball. Thank you all. Yeah.